You had a rough couple weeks.
Just at work, I've been so exhausted lately, dude. So we did the Discovery Center is what they call it. It's basically like four model homes with a parking lot. Okay. So our company paved all that, did all that. Dude, when they went to spray the parking lot lines, they were fine, but there was a change order and the painters didn't see the change order, so they put the handicap spots, which are wider than regular spots,
Yeah.
in the wrong side of the parking lot. Okay.
Oh no.
They were supposed to be on the other side. Now, one would think all you would have to do is just swap from the
Right.
ones that need to be swapped. But no, since they were handicap spots, they are wider, so all the lines are wrong. So on Friday, Ricky and I spent all day changing out over 700 pavers by hand. These pavers were dark, so and Friday was hot. You remember how
Yeah.
hot
Oh
Friday
my
was.
God. Yeah, dude.
So we're getting roasted from the sun, and
No.
then the pavers themselves are like absorbing the sun and shooting
Yeah,
it
of
in our
course.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, three cubes of brick. So three entire like cubes of brick.
Oh my
But you
God.
gotta think, we had to move that brick to the spots. We had to pull the bricks out, and then we had to load the bricks on and throw and then drive them and then unload the bricks again into a dumpster. So, dude, basically I was like, we roughly moved like 9 cubes of brick today. Because like
Oh,
when you calculate all
yeah.
the moving and grabbing, dude, it was like one of the worst days of my life. Like it
I
was
feel
so
like we
miserable.
had the same weekend because I watched Minecraft this weekend.
So I had to watch Jack Black change out 700 bricks.
Yeah, yeah. I watched Jack
I've
Black.
actually heard like
Steven,
positive in a silly way thing.
it's such
No,
a fun movie.
that's
I
what I've heard. Like
totally
it seems like it's a
see.
positive thing.
I literally, I posted before I even saw the movie. I was like, listen, this is a movie that was directed by the guy who made Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre and like other very.
This guy knows what he's doing when it
He
comes to
knows
the
how to make.
silly.
Yeah, he knows how to make like a silly movie. Like he knows like over the top, awkward, silly indie feeling movies. You throw a bunch of money and like the costume of Minecraft universe over that, like it's gonna be
This
so.
guy's got this completely handled.
Yeah, he can totally do this. Thankfully didn't have to stay out in the freaking sun because that was like, yeah, it's so
Yeah,
hot.
dude, and just it's just getting that time of the year where it's rougher and rougher to do anything. And long story short, I failed this week because of my misery, but
Oh no.
I'm back on track. So I'm gonna bust my hump. I'm gonna get through it. I just gotta adjust to the. Although we did get a nice cool front today. Today was actually a very beautiful day.
All right,
But
Steven, I know how to make you feel better. Let's get to the show, and I'm going to tell you why my week was worse than yours. It is a competition, and I won this time. I'm just letting you know. For
did
for
you
those
fail too? So we can still feel bad?
Steven, I'll get to that. I want you to know. Do you remember previously on We Have Issues? I shared. We both shared like cleaning up our biggest messes. You remember I at one point I accidentally spilled an entire case of these like wine cooler things. It was a huge
Mhm.
like crazy Kubrickian like shining flood of like gross red liquids. And I was like, "Oh, I'll never have to clean up a mess worse than this." I did, Steven. And it was so much it was so gross and so terrible. Anyway, let's get to the show. Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
I am Stevie Wildcard.
Every week, Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles and messes that life throws our way in order to get something done. Recently, we've been working on a supernatural superhero culty comedy comic called Deathless. We are on issue 4. We've kickstarted freaking 3 issues so far. We're headed toward the 4th one. Steven, how are you feeling about this issue so far?
I love this issue so far. I wish I would have progressed on this issue further, but I absolutely adore this issue, and I love because I've already also read issue 5. I love that issue 4 is like a staging issue, but like still so great on its own, you know?
Yeah, I love how specifically it's a staging issue with the stage and everything. And it's like, hey, we're setting things up. So if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to our little show. We're here trying to create a colony of to give people an escape from the random ridiculousness of the world because everything seems to be on fire. Everyone's walking on the sun right now except for us. We are doing our best to ignore all of that. We put our heads in the sand and we make comic books and talk about whatever we want to talk about. Steven, normally, like I wanted to save it like to how we did, but you know what? Let's just get that out of the way so we can talk about fun stuff. So you failed this week. You're not feeling very
Failed
good about
miserably. I mean, I've done like, like what I consider like staging work for myself in terms of like roughing and plotting while I'm at work. But I haven't made any like true progress that I could even report that I would feel good reporting. So
it. No, that's
yeah,
fair.
I failed this week.
I'll say like as far as comic stuff, I pretty much failed this week too. I'll say like I'm with you because I've done a lot of coloring, but this week, dude, I've been like previously I've been coloring and like doing a really good job. This week, KT, my fiance, went away for her best friend slash sister's bridal shower, and she had a great time, but she drove all the way to
That's
Jersey,
so
so like that
crazy.
was on my
It's like an
mind.
18, it's like what, 18?
It's a
Maybe like
long freaking like yeah, it's basically essentially an entire day, but it's a 2 day trip if you don't if you're not wearing a diaper, So like I was like thinking about that, and I was kind of like feeling like the loneliness, which is weird, Steven. That's new for me because
because you were lonely for so long, but you had manifested a whole person in that
yeah.
lonely.
Well, what's so weird is like previously on my life, I was like, I'd live for those moments. Like, I was like, I enjoy all my time with my son. We spend all this time together. We do stuff. But as soon as he goes to bed, I celebrate, I play video games and celebrate his absence. I'm like, I'm gonna like, I'm making comics and I'm, like doing what I have to do. And I was like, I enjoy watching movies alone. I enjoy like, listening to music and reading books and doing all this stuff, like, and just be in my solitude. I enjoy it. I still do to an extent, but like after a day of it, I was like, oh wow, I'm feeling her absence. Like she's gone, and I was like, this is different now. Like I've kind of adapted. I've acclimated to this relationship, and I'm so
and
used to
now
like,
and now I'm
us.
dependent on some
Yeah, it was very
chemistry.
weird. Not to mention, Steven, I will complain a little and say like not being able to watch things sucks. Like I was like, because I was like, oh, we have our shows that we watch. I want to watch them. And also, movies came out for streaming. I really want to watch The Monkey. I really want to watch Mickey 17. And I was like, she also really wants to watch these movies. And I was like,
So now I'm just on hiatus. I'm just
yeah.
so
So
like what Tina and I do, because Tina obviously being an incredible hairstylist, she has more free time than I do. We pick a show that we watch together, and then I just straight up tell her like I'll watch another show. Like for example, we've been watching Hell's Kitchen together,
right.
but I don't care. Like go ahead and watch it while I'm
Oh, I
gone.
see. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like I don't mind. But Peaky Blinders, since we're watching that together,
That's our
that's our like no, we only watch this when we're together.
for
So
sure. Yeah, dude. I mean that makes
but
sense.
it's tough because you guys even share even more interests. I mean, Tina and I have a lot of like interests that line up, but she also loves trash reality. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I'm not home, she is
This
fine. She has plenty of trash TV to watch, that
for
she
sure.
loves to watch.
Oh, dude. So yeah, so I was like, I did get some coloring done, and while I colored, I watched The Bondsman, the Kevin Bacon show. It's about Kevin Bacon plays like a bail bondsman slash like bounty hunter situation, who ends up going to hell and kind of selling his soul or like making a deal with the devil to be a bail bondsman for the devil. So he's like collecting
That
demons.
just sounds so
Dude,
badass.
it's so badass. It's so much fun. Like if
And
you
Kevin Bacon's just, I
yeah,
mean, he's Kevin fucking Bacon,
it's
okay?
well,
He's
it's just like Minecraft, where like if you go into it with the right perspective, recognizing like what the intention is, like what this freaking show is trying to be, it's a fun show. It's like it's entertaining. It's exactly what it is. But dude, I
if
also basically
if
failed.
every show and movie is not Citizen Kane worthy, then it is not a show or movie for me, okay, sir? No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
I know. As yeah, we've all learned that about you, Steven. If it's not Citizen Kane, yeah, Steven actually has a giant like Charles Foster Kane tattoo.
I
It
do.
says like rosebud across his chest.
It's actually it's a flower that is like budding, but it almost looks like a penis too. It's just really to like cause a lot of mixed reactions when it's not. I don't own that at all.
It's
I do.
just a penis. It's no foul, no flower.
I do have Holt's pineapple slut shirt though. That is an actual thing I own. That was
Nice.
bought for me as a gag
Oh
that
my God.
I've worn and realized I'm like, oh, this
Oh,
people
this
think
is
I'm an actual swinger when I wear this shirt. I can't
as
wear
they
this
should.
shirt anymore
No.
out in
Oh,
public. Yeah. But
oh,
anyways,
but dude, like, yeah, I didn't get that much done this week either. I felt kind of bad. I was trying to work, like, I started editing this book for someone, or like this short story for someone, which like is going pretty well. And I started coloring, but I didn't get a lot done, so I kind of failed. But also, Stephen, in addition to juggling like the just emptiness, the void that is my life and trying to figure all this stuff out,
Juggling these empty balls.
Stephen, Stephen, I had to deal with a mess recently, and I'm gonna tell this story real quick
A
because
mess so catastrophic,
oh, Stephen,
so dire.
Steven, it is like I there's like that Monty Python movie where like there's like the really large guy and he eats too much and they're like, "Oh, would you like a mint?" And he's like, "It's only wafer thin." And he's like, "Oh, I couldn't possibly eat another bite." And he's like, "It's just wafer thin." And he eats it and he literally explodes. That's the level of mess I clean up. I'm gonna paint a picture real quick for you. My son goes to bed. Atlas goes to bed. Yeah, everything's fine. While like when he went to bed, he was like watching a movie because he went to bed a little early, and he asked for a pickle, so I gave him a pickle, and I was like, sure, why not? Just as long as you brush your teeth after. So I was like, as long as you brush your teeth after, you have fine. So he's eating his pickle. I go, I'm watching stuff on the couch. I'm like trying to like color while I'm doing it. I'm not coloring while I'm doing it. I'm failing, so I'm setting it aside. I'm like watching stuff. I just start getting tired. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm not feeling like any, those moments where you're like, I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to
You're
like,
just you really like your entire body and brain are just simultaneously checked out.
yeah, just checked out, dude. I was just like, I'm not supposed to be conscious right now. This is dumb. So I go in the room, I lay down, I'm like kind of laying there. I put something on TV. I'm trying to go to sleep. I finally pass out, right? Stephen,
No.
I'm dead asleep. I hear my door open, my bedroom door open. Now I know my fiance is in New Jersey, right? My son is asleep, right? So I jump up and run to the front of my bed and see the silhouette of a person in my doorway. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say it wasn't a killer, Stephen. It wasn't, unfortunately, it wasn't like a 6'8" murderer because it would have been better to tackle that situation than what I actually had to face, Stephen.
I would have rather shit my own pants in
Yes,
this situation,
100% give
defeated this criminal, and then cleaned up myself than what I
I,
was.
I can't tell you the level to which that's true because this is what happens, okay? My poor little boy looks up at me and he looks just distraught. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, why? What did you murder something? What happened? And he's like, my stomach hurt when I woke up. And I look and I notice on his shirt, he has vomit, right? Like there's like
Oh,
specks on his shirt. And I was like, okay, there's vomit on his shirt. I was like, oh, buddy, it's okay, it's okay. I was like, did you get some on your sheets? Like, are you all right? This poor boy, this poor boy looks at me and he's like, I tried.
I tried, father.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And as I say that, we're walking toward his room and I see just Stephen.
Oh God, the
Steven,
worst.
the snail trail of disgusting. Like the timeline of my son's day, like what he ate that day, like his entire just
Oh,
Steven, it was the worst thing I've ever seen. Okay, so I mean, I'm painting this picture like Willem Dafoe in Boondock Saints, like figuring out. I put my headphones on. I'm figuring out like the blood splatter of what happened. Where I'm like, oh, he hit the wall there and couldn't take it, so he bent over, and someone
he
here.
gagged a little bit here and was like
Oh,
standing
I
in
could see.
place,
He
trying to
tried to hold
move.
it. I know you've been to my house, but the viewers who are hopefully still listening, if you're not, okay, don't check out yet. Please hit the subscribe button. We're not always this gross, but like this is a true story, and I have to share it because it does get. There's a dog gate, and then it's just a corridor. Like it turns into a corridor, and there's a bathroom straight ahead, right, with a slidey door, and his room is to the right. So I turn to the right and I see the path, like the trail of innards, or like the disgust.
Just
And I
him
I
losing complete control of his
one
upper
hundred percent.
bowel.
I'm like holding this kid, just like I'm so sorry you went through this, and like so I'm looking at this stuff, right? And mind you, I have no idea what time it is at this point. I'm like, I just fell asleep. I woke up to this, and I'm just like, I'm in it. So I walk into his room, and it's just everywhere, right? So I see his blanket has stuff all over it, his pillowcase, like everything, right? Has stuff all over it. I'm just like, oh man. I was like, he must have gotten sick, and then he tried to make it to the bathroom, but it was already too late. It was on the floor, and he was like, walk to me, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, boy. So I was like, I get the paper towels, I get the sprays, I start cleaning, I like go right to work. So I start talking to him, I get him water, and I'm like talking to him while he's, watching me clean. And he's saying, "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry." And I was like, "You don't have to be sorry. You got sick. You're not in control of this. You know, it's
No,
like
yeah, this is
whatever. It was some stomach flu, a stomach bug, like something. You ate something bad, like a piece
Chase.
of
Chase
lettuce.
had a stomach bug like a week and a half ago or a week
Yeah.
ago.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's terrible because like for a second you feel like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And it's like we ate all the same stuff, and
Oh,
it's
literally stomach bugs. Just you try to trace it to the food to think it's food poisoning, but 9 times out of 10, it literally is. You already have the stomach bug. You eat your normal stuff, and then suddenly all that stuff is no longer good for
oh,
you.
exactly, dude. So I'm talking to him, and I'm just like, he's apologizing. I'm talking him down from his guilt, basically. I'm just like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I was like, I'm glad you're okay. Just, I'm trying to settling him down, doing the things, the parenting things. And I sit him down. I get him I get him calmed down while I'm cleaning, and I get his room looking good, and it's smelling like lemon, like lemon pine saw or whatever, And I'm talking, and I was like, buddy, did you just like couldn't make it to the bathroom? He's like, I did. And I was like, what do you mean?
Oh no.
I was like, oh no, yeah, yeah. So it occurs to me that I haven't looked in the bathroom yet. And I was like, I assumed like the world's worst Dexter that like the blood splatter meant it happened here. This was the killing
This
floor.
is this
I
is the
was
crime
wrong.
scene.
I was right. There were multiple locations. There was a secondary location where he brought his stomach, and oh my God, Steven. So I can't the amount of gross it was. I put him to bed. I'm like, all right, buddy. I hug him for a minute. I like stay with him while he like calms down and stuff. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go finish cleaning this up. I love you. And I close the door. Steven, I walked by the bathroom and just like I noticed the first thing I noticed is the toilet's closed, and I was like, oh yeah, there was no attempt made on the toilet whatsoever. And I look, so my vision goes from the toilet slowly to the sink, and I just see
Oh God.
Steven. Oh my God, the ungodly texture that existed in this sink it should not be spoken of, and I won't go into detail, but dude, it was unbelievable. And I can't stress enough. Like
Kids, I don't know what it is about kids, but they always go for the sink, which is just the most impractical thing to go for in the bathroom. Like it's just it's not the it can't handle this.
no, it's not made for this. Dude, so anyway, I cleaned that up. I looked at the clock and it was like 1:50 in the morning.
Oh no. Just
I,
cleaning up.
I finally like I clean my hands. I get ready. I put all of his like laundry and stuff in the wash, and I'm just like go to bed, and I'm like I'm gonna go to sleep. I lay down and I'm just like sober awake. Like just I was like
You just put in a full 8 hours on
yeah,
that
I'm having
vomit.
war flashbacks like of that situation. I could not sleep, dude. I literally didn't get to sleep until like 3:30. I ended up keeping him home the next day because I was just like,
Just to be, you don't want to go
well,
to
yeah. I
school
mean,
with a
it
tricky
was it
stomach.
was twofold to be honest. I was like, but neither of us got sleep. Obviously, he just went through a very traumatic event, but like throwing up like that
Yeah,
amount.
because I don't care. Even when you're an adult, vomiting is
No,
just, it really is, it is a traumatic event. Like you remember when you vomit. Like
oh. Yeah,
I
I mean,
remember I vomited back
there's
in
a reason.
'05.
Yeah, dude. Right. There's a reason we say never again when it happens,
Yeah.
when we cause it, right? But dude, that was a mess. But this is the dumbest segue in the world. It did remind me that I didn't get to share with you this idea slash cryptid that I came up with,
Was
right?
it
So I want
vomit?
to do, can you give me a Tales from the Cryptid theme song?
Ooh, you mean the segment we've been doing since episode 1?
Yeah,
Got
for
you.
those of you joining for the first time, we every once in a while we get together and we do a segment called Tales from the Cryptid where we create our own cryptids and spill them into the world, drip them out there so you guys can share them with people and we can make them real. We bring them to life the way we bring it to life for Freddy Krueger. You know how those work. And Steven always has this same beautiful song that he's been working on
Mhm.
perfecting forever. So take it away.
You've asked your questions. You've taken your tests on the monsters. You've also done other things like pull out the DC comic encyclopedia, cause I'm like Ted Mosby. But now, children gather round for the tales of the cryptid sounds, then you will just be so entrenched in glory as Mr. LaFusi indoctrinates us with tales from the cryptids.
Tales from the Cryptid. Yeah, Stephen. Okay, I was in our bathroom with my fiance because we have one of those like walk-in bathrooms where like the toilet area is in a separate area with the
It's
door and
got its
stuff.
own little stall
Yeah,
thing.
its own little. We have like our own little stall, but like we have like a nice bathroom with like the two sinks with like a large mirror, and we're sitting there like talking and brushing our teeth and hanging out. And I had this thought, right? Where have you ever taken like the vanity mirror, like the medicine cabinet, and like opened it so you can
To
see?
see the multiple like
Yes,
reflections
yes. So
and also see yourself from a profile that you don't normally
that you
get to
usually
see.
don't see, which like
Mhm.
is very strange, right? Dude, so I did that and I was looking at it and I realized, it's ever increasingly like dark green as it,
Yeah.
enters that void, right? And I was looking and the more I looked at it, the more it began to look like a corridor, like almost like a corridor of stairs. Right? So like, and if you can do this at home, if you're watching this, go into your bathroom. If you have one of those mirrors, just gonna open it up enough, and you'll see yourself. But if you get past that, it looks like a curved corridor going through into the mirror verse. And I was thinking like, how terrifying would it be if there was something that crawled out of that, just like some kind of creature that crawled
Oh,
out.
like it's like starts working its way up the corridor
Yeah,
as you
like
have
works
it tilted.
exactly. So like the longer the mirror faces itself, the higher up these stairs this creature gets. So every time,
Like as you're doing it, you hear the roar from the very bottom of the corridor, and you're like, "What the
yes,
hell was that?" And then you start seeing the thing skittering up at
yes.
Ooh.
So, dude, and I love the idea that like, what if, and it can have, so here's the thing. Sometimes we just need medicine. We open up that cabinet, we're not paying attention, we're, getting stuff. Maybe we walk away to get some water to take a pill or something. We come back, we forget to close the door. Maybe something escapes into our room, right? So this is what I was thinking. What if this creature escapes and it literally looks like anything? So you go, you get some water, you come back, you take your pill and you drink, and when you close the door, you look and you see like your vanity or your what do you call it? Like your sink area looks about the same. What you don't
But
notice
now
is there's an extra plant or there's an extra, thing, and
there's an additional toothbrush.
an
Why is
additional
there a
toothbrush.
third
Like
toothbrush?
we have 7 toothbrushes in there. Like most of them we don't use, but like I probably forgot about two of them anyway. So like there's one in there that like I didn't account for. But maybe a smart viewer, if this were a movie, would notice that now there's another blue toothbrush. There are two of the same in there, and it's very weird. I like the idea that this thing starts copying things throughout your house while watching you and learning to slowly copy more intricate things until it eventually copies you and
And
tries to shove you into the corridor.
ooh,
So then, like, yeah, and I like the idea that like it can only maintain the shape permanently if it can get you to
if
go
it's
back.
trapped in the
Yeah,
corridor,
if it can trade
you
places.
trap the original soul in the place you were trapped, and therefore
Yes,
you gain that soul.
yeah, and then I like the idea is like so when they close the thing, you fall down those stairs and you find yourself becoming this creature. And then when you go to escape, you realize that you're not even in that house. You're in whatever house happens to open the corridor because it doesn't
Mhm.
happen every day. Or, I mean, it might happen it doesn't happen in the same place all the
You're
time.
just trying to be human
You're
again.
trying to be human again. So I mean, or at the very least, you don't know. You're a creature, and you're just like, What am I? Am I this? So you're coming out. So I just like the idea of this cryptid that exists as this creature that copies objects while watching you sneak like creepily. From the
Like just this mirror-verse mime, like mimic.
yeah. Like I was, because it's like it's not a doppelganger because it's not like just an evil version of you. It literally is this thing that like if you weren't home, if it were
This
any.
thing was once human as well,
Yeah, that's
obviously.
that's also true. It's been shoved into this area and given these like otherworldly properties now, and it's desperate for, life outside of that corridor because who wants to live in a weird, shadowy, dark green corridor like
It's
mirror gully?
horrifying.
It is, right? I've been calling it a mirror, like
Ooh,
MER, like like a mirror, but I don't know. I don't have like a good like initially I was thinking of like a narcissist based thing, but I was like, I don't know. It's just like it's more of like a reflect, like reflects. I don't know.
mirror.
I like mirror though. It's just like mirror instead of because it sounds like mirror anyway, but like mirror. But I don't know. I kind of like that idea. And it was
And it's
creepy.
simple. Simple names are always so cool too. You
Yeah,
know,
right. Like I can see like oh the mirror's loose in our house. Like like because we can all say like okay is this the same Rubik's Cube that was here before? What if the mirror can also, what if it throws other things into the mirror as it, what if your objects slowly start disappearing? So like you're
Because it has to get rid of the object that.
Yes. So what if you're, yeah, so every time it becomes something, they start going down into the corridor. So then eventually when you get shoved down there, you see this like hodgepodge, like Scrooge McDuckian trash,
Of thousands of well, hundreds of years
hundreds of
where
years of, yeah, whatever it may be, of exactly, of whenever the mirror was created, right? But
there's like Egyptian treasures, there's like
yeah, and you're just stuck there and you're just like, yeah, like there's my toothbrush, there's my comb, there's my Rubik's Cube. What am I? You know, and you're just here with like all these trinkets and stuff. You are like a mere golem thing. But I don't know, it's a cool idea. Like I like it. I don't know what to do with it, but it's there.
it would be an awesome like random like honestly like a Tales of the Cryptid like
Right?
a segment in a show where that
No.
happens.
Oh God. Dude, I know. I've been thinking about that. I don't know. Like we've been talking about making a movie and stuff, and I really want to do it. We have to I know we have to get our comic books done though. I mean that's what I've been focusing on. So I'm
Yeah,
focusing on comic
wrap
stuff.
the comic stuff, and then
Yeah, wrap
like we said, then we can still work on side comics for whoever wants to hire us, and
yeah.
then work the movie.
Yeah. But let us know what you think of the mirror below, if that sounds creepy to you, or if you think it would make a good comic.
Chasey's so cute. It's just a random thought.
Oh, what
So
happened?
like when she gets certain prizes at school, she can pick stuff, and one of her teachers has Pokemon cards, so she always picks
Picture.
Pokemon cards for
Oh,
me.
that's so cool,
It's
dude.
so sweet of her.
I freaking love
And
that. I love how.
speaking of Chasey, I was gonna say while you were telling the story of the vomit story, because Chasey had a stomach bug too.
Yeah.
Hers wasn't messy, thankfully, because she was wearing a full pajama
Nice.
outfit.
Okay.
But the difference of our kids, because my kids are just so crass. Uh, Chasey walks into the room and she goes, "I shit my pants." And, like that's how she said it. Like over the night, she just like diarrheaed in her pants, and she goes, "I shit my pants." And we're like, "Oh, baby, we're so sorry." She's so funny, man.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude. I like kids are so silly. It's so much fun sometimes. Oh, speaking of like just kids and being around, we're playing this weekend, right? Are we going? We're going.
Correct, and we'll host. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we're going to your house. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, so for those of you joining for the first time, we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons. Steven's part of the party along with his wife, our friend Lucas, and my fiance. I've been dungeon mastering this week. We're like continuing an adventure. It's cool because like we're past the like that was I literally tried my best to create level one of a video game. Like you know how they teach you to go forward, they teach you to jump, they teach you to use your superpowers and all that stuff. Like I tried really hard to be like, okay, you have combat, you have puzzles, you have a goal, you meet a goal. Like here, like this is it, and now we're gonna go into the world. Like good luck, you know. Like, so I'm excited to see where this goes.
It's gonna be cool, and
Yeah, dude.
we all have some pretty solid power ups
Yeah,
already going in. So
for sure, dude. Yeah, it was. I don't know. That was a lot of fun.
my half orc paladin basically has Mjolnir now. So
Yes. Oh, I love it so much. It's so much fun. But yeah, so we'll keep you updated and let you know how that goes. I can't give any spoilers as to like what I have in mind, but we'll see what the party even wants to do. It could literally be like we're gonna relive Aladdin. This is what's happening. I'm not in control. But otherwise, dude, did you have anything else going on this week that you want to talk about before we start doing other stuff?
no, I think no. That's
No?
we're gonna go see Minecraft on Sunday, but
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah. After you see Minecraft, we can see. Dude, the comedy in that movie is very silly. But it's one of those movies where like you have to just understand it's like super goofy. It's it's like it's like no it is like Napoleon Dynamite where it's like it's not going to be funny for like Hot Rod where it's like it's not going to be funny for everyone, but it's pretty funny, like some of it's
yeah,
pretty funny.
people just take themselves too serious.
Oh, they really do. It's like it just gets exhausting. The internet's been a nightmare lately. I've been posting and running away, which like I know isn't the best for like growing on the internet, but like I'm not really
It's
concerned.
so hard.
I
It
just
just gets harder as each year goes too, man.
yeah,
It's so like social media really just has lost its luster. Like,
yeah.
but anyways, I digress.
No, it's no. I mean, you're right. It's what sucks because like we want to show up for our friends, right? And like we're hoping, like if you're watching this right now, you're definitely the people we're talking about. We freaking, we want to show up for the people who have books, like our friend Steve Arena. We had him on the show last week, and we're hopefully like if you haven't heard about his book, please go back that way. You can. It only has about a week left. It's called Zombie Date Night 2, and it's really cool. But we try like we want to support all of our friends doing this cool stuff, but it's so hard to find them in the sea of angry, like unlikable monsters that just like have all the megaphones for some reason. And like I can't stand it. And like I don't know. It's like people don't care about intention or nuance or like connecting with things they actually have, enjoy. Like,
Mhm.
making friends through shared joys anymore. They're just like, let's hate things together and then hate things, for fun. It's just,
And
ugh.
and what makes it so difficult to talk about is like I don't want to like I don't want to take away from the gravity of any situation that someone thinks is a grave
Oh yeah, of course.
situation at the same time. But it's like, man, like these games have been played over 1,000 million times by like various peoples throughout history, and it's just like it just feels like it's just constant now, and in the
Yeah.
sense that like it's just everybody's personality anymore.
Yeah,
And
I know. Well, I mean, part of it is I mean, it's algorithmically rewarded over and over on social
yeah,
media and also in the news. Like, and that's just what's happening. So, when people are doing what we're doing, we're like, listen, we're trying to not talk about this junk because, like, who wants to be inundated with it 24 hours a day, 7 days a
but
week? But
and
the,
it's not that we don't care about those any
oh, of
issues,
course
and
not.
that's what makes
But
it so tricky because it's like I'm not trying to dismiss the severity for some folks and like things
no, of
like that,
course
but on the same token, man, like why can't we get around our campfire and talk about some good things too? You know,
Yes.
like that's
And
my
well,
thing. Like,
and that's I mean that's why we do this is,
yeah,
the reality is we can do that. Simply aren't enough people doing that. And like maybe even if it's 90% of your time doing that and fighting battles that dying on hills that you believe in, that's fine. Good. Great. Great. But like people aren't recognizing like people aren't reading the room and recognizing the intention of certain hills. Like
hmm.
sometimes like you'll post something and be like, "Oh, this is an obvious joke that has nothing to do with anything. There are literally no victims in this." And then someone will get mad or make it needlessly political so they can throw their body on that hill and you're like, "I don't this ew." And you like brush it
Nothing
off.
is worse than your thread being completely taken over by
Yeah.
something like that.
It
That is
really
like
is.
the
Like that
worst feeling in the
it's
world,
so
especially when there was no interest or any sort of
yeah.
attempt to make a comment from the
Yeah.
original poster.
Yeah, so and it's like I still find myself able to kind of play in the playground of like I can make jokes and say what I want, and then I just block or ignore when people comment and do that. It does suck though. I find myself like not wanting to do it. Like I'm less like I get conditioned to not want to participate in the conversation, or like step on that stage because someone's gonna have a megaphone in my face going like, why aren't you talking about this particular thing that's important to me in this moment? I'm like, because today someone's dying. Like my dad's, it's like you don't know what's going on in people's life. Like every day is someone's best day and someone's worst day. Every day someone dies and someone's born. What are we doing? We're gonna spend every single day identifying or in like defining the entirety of the day by the worst thing that could possibly happen
By
in
the headlines of the day, really,
by
because
the headlines of the day.
that's what's happening. It's just whatever is like headlining that day. It's everyone suddenly an expert on it, and everyone suddenly knows. It's just can't I
Yeah.
can't.
I don't know, dude. Like today I saw this headline about the Dunning-Kruger effect, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what that means, and I'm a genius about this topic. Like, but that's how it feels. That's how the internet feels, where it's like,
Mhm.
oh my God, can we not? Like it is I don't it stinks because as much as you try, of course we're all shamed for creating bubbles or echo chambers or whatever it may be. It's like even though everyone uses these different platforms differently. Like there are people who only use YouTube to like show their shoes, or people who only
Mhm.
use YouTube to like play music. We use YouTube to like talk to each other and have these conversations and make comics and like hopefully make friends. But sometimes like someone, do you remember when we did a live show and that guy Eugene showed up and he's like, "You suck," and it's like, what do we suck at? We're just
Eugene,
ourselves. Like
where are we falling short, Eugene?
like what like that I mean that's kind of a perfect metaphor for the entirety of the internet where it's just like we're here doing a thing that we intend to do. when we're doing it to the best of our ability and we're doing it well, as far as we're concerned. And part of what we're doing is holding ourselves accountable when we don't do it well, which means we're doing the thing well because that's our intention. So if you show up and you're like, you suck, I'm like, how, what do you mean? Like, what is that?
Eugene, why?
You're
Why are you
just
throwing
throwing a
these balls of
Molotov
hate?
cocktail
Yeah.
needlessly into onto a stage that you weren't invited to. And like, you don't even have a ticket to it. Like, we try to like let everyone in, but like, sometimes people are just monsters. I hate that it gets so rewarded and that you see these people sharing or quote tweeting or whatever these like terrible takes and like these awful people who are literally saying things to upset each other. So like one person says something to upset people, the other person piggybacks off that to get attention because they're upset that this person said this thing. But I'm like, you're both the same kind of monster. You're different sides of the same,
Ugly coin.
yeah, the ugly coin, the same manipulative ugly coin. And I just like I don't I like I'll throw that into like a wishing well and hope you both go away. Like I just
Mhm.
don't want it. I wish and that's why that's why we do this. But it is hard, dude. I'm totally with you. I get why KT, my fiance, basically deleted Twitter today from her phone because she's like, I'm done with this. And I was like, I'm there too. I'm trying like I it sucks because like you
If I
said,
didn't have so many people that I associated with that I use Twitter, don't
that's
get me
it.
wrong, I do have phone numbers now at this point with a lot of people, but
Oh,
if I
yeah,
just
that's it,
didn't
dude.
have, there's
I'm
just certain people I care about that I just don't want to completely remove it. But yeah.
It sucks, dude. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I've thought about creating like a separate Discord thing for people to keep in touch just to, if they want to or like something like that, but it's so hard to just justify jumping onto Twitter because all I want to do now is just like post my silly thoughts or like update things for friends and then run away because it's too hard to find people and it's too frustrating to look and it's becoming exhausting in the dumbest way because it's supposed to be fun and sometimes it is but most of the time it's not at least recently. So anyway, I don't know,
Twitter
that's
has like quickly become what Facebook was like a few
yeah.
years ago, and it's wild to me. So
Yeah. And it's crazy because like I think the most maddening part for me is how quickly it shifts. Like, and I notice out of nowhere, I'll see like I will scroll and I'll see a bunch of friends and like people I like and like I'm like, oh, okay, this is stuff, movies, books, all right, and I'm like TV shows I like, Marvel stuff, here we go, like like all this stuff. And then literally the next day, having interacted with nothing else but those things, I start seeing like random nonsense where I'm like, oh, I would never click on this. Why am I seeing this? Oh, this is someone's trying to like manipulate each other. Someone's trying to rage bait, or someone's like falling for rage bait. And I'm just like, I don't want any of that. Why am I? Why? If there is an algorithm that is attuned to like our particular engagement, like our interactions with the apps, right? Why am I seeing this? I literally don't interact with this stuff. Is it just this is popular because this is people love yelling at each other? And I'm like, when have I shown that though? Like
mhm.
I've never shown
I've never enjoyed this.
I've never enjoyed this ever. But it's just all of it's so strange. Yeah, I don't know if you saw. Did you see that interaction I had with Grok, the AI?
No, the AI,
Oh my God. So,
trying to date the newest robot on the
yeah,
block,
okay.
huh?
So for those of you who don't know, on Twitter/X, there's this thing called Grok. It's the AI created by like Elon Musk's team of nerds or whatever. And it's just a general AI. You can talk to it, ask it questions. It can help you with things. It can generate photos and all sorts of things. The things AI does, right? I asked it because, and the reason I used it is because when you ask Google, right? If I go to Google and I'm like, list of documentaries about filmmaking, I'll see 15 sponsored things that have nothing to do with what I'm asking for, right? Then I'll see like a Reddit post that has like three good answers, but like they say all the same four things over and over, and I see that. So I was like, wait, maybe I'll ask this AI for a list of documentaries about filmmaking because I'm thinking about making a movie. I really want to like I'm Steven, I'm not easily like motivated by other people. Like I'm not easily influenced by people, but I'm super easily motivated by people I like love. So like
Hmm.
when I watch a movie that like really speaks to me, I'm like, oh man, this makes me want to make something. Especially if I watch like behind the scenes stuff and I'm like, I can do this, I can do that. I start getting like motivated. So like, and it works for me. So I was like, I'm gonna watch this document. I'm gonna watch a documentary about filmmaking or like about someone making a movie that's important to them, and I'm gonna watch the process if I can. So I was like, Grok, Please give me a list of documentaries about people making a film, the filmmaking process. So Grok gives me this list of movies, right? Some of which I've seen, right? And
Mhm.
one of the movies is a movie called The Devil's Candy. Now, here's the thing. I've seen the film The Devil's Candy, right? It stars Ethan Embry, and it's about this guy, like painter, who gets possessed, and he's kind of like goes after his family, and it gets really dark and cool. It's an indie movie, right? But what Grok listed was The Devil's Candy, a documentary, what was it? A documentary offshoot of the movie about the making of this movie. So it was like it's a documentary about the full process from writing to the acting.
Really?
So I was like, I am in. Like I was like, this is a perfect situation for me. It's an indie movie with a small cast, only a couple locations, and they're gonna show me how they did it, which makes me feel like I can do it, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna watch this thing. I'm gonna feel inspired. I can't wait. So I Google this thing, trying to find where to stream this movie, and it doesn't exist, Steven. It
Rock
doesn't
just made
exist.
it up.
It doesn't exist, Steven. So I look, right? So I look, so I go to Grok. So I go to Grok and I go, hey Grok, yo, hey, Grok. Um, I was like, you told me this movie is a documentary and it doesn't, I can't find it anywhere. And Grok gaslights me immediately. Grok's like, dude, Grok's like, oh, maybe you conflated the movie The Devil's Candy with a documentary. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna screenshot you. You said this. I was like, I didn't just you invented this. And I'm arguing.
You sold me
You
on
sold
something
me.
that's not even
I
real.
was so excited. You should take this to Hollywood. Be like, hey, go get Ethan Embry and like the director of that movie and make a behind the scenes feature they said it's a feature length full documentary about the process of this movie. They listed
From
this.
writing to end credits, baby. It's the whole shebang.
So so Grok was like, "Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
It
Wouldn't it
doesn't
be nice
exist.
if this existed?" It
Hey,
doesn't.
I've been paying attention to your Twitter, being Grok, and I noticed that you really want to make a movie, so I'm going to generate your best fantasy.
Dude,
And
I
it's
could.
not going to be real, but you're going to feel a smidgen of happiness
It
for a
was so
moment.
funny, dude. So I was like, "Hey, wait." So I said to Grok, I'm like, Grok, you created this, and then you assume that I'm the one who made this mistake. Even though I came to Grok saying, why did you tell me that this existed when it didn't? Right? Think
Mm.
about that, Steven. It's a freaking robot, right? Okay, the logical thing, you're a robot. Imagine you're a robot, right? Your only memory of our interactions is what I've given you, right? So if I tell you you said this to me, your only
You look back in your memories, you're like, okay, there's only been a couple moments,
yes,
both
yes,
involving this very topic.
yes. And now let's imagine for whatever reason, Grok isn't capable of going three sentences up, right? Like let's just imagine for a second. Okay, you're still a robot, and your course of action should be to assume I'm telling you the truth. And you taking that information and processing it accordingly, and saying, if I said that, I must have had an error in my processes. Maybe I made some sort of, I apologize. Instead, it threw me under the bus and assumed I did something wrong. I was like, what?
So you're telling me that an AI that studies the internet and learns from it has decided that rage baiting is the best course of action and what most
That's
people do
exactly
on the
what I'm saying.
internet.
I'm just saying that like this is why Terminator happened, Steven. This is
This is
why.
what it is, literally scanning the worst of us.
Oh my God, I can't believe it's happening, and it is. But anyway, if you're here, we're going to escape. We're gonna find ourselves on a little island or on the moon or on some planet, and we're gonna do our best to create a little colony where we don't have to worry about any of that stuff and just make things and have fun and enjoy being, silly and honest and kind and just decent people to each other. So Steven, with all that being said, we're basically avoiding the internet. What are you doing this week?
I'm putting foot to the metal to get these pages done because I gotta get Bloodlust done this month, and I still want to make good headway on Deathless issue 4. So
Heck yeah.
I gotta start grinding.
Heck yeah, dude. So this week, have you done any Bloodlust pages yet? Have you
No,
finished?
but I've
Oh,
gotten a lot of like, but I've gotten I'm state like I said, I have been
you're
doing
doing
a lot
stage.
of staging for the pages. So
Awesome. No, that's cool. That's good because it lets me know like what I can work on. So this
mhm.
week I'm going to do I'm going to work on some Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I'm going to try to color at least two more pages And I do have to finish this editing thing, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. It shouldn't take too long. It's a pretty good story and it's fun, so I'm going to get through it. But that's what we're doing this week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this colony. If this is your first time joining us, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. You can talk to us on one of the various social media places if you'd like. It's easiest probably if you just post below. We're also on Patreon if you want to talk to us there. There's a little like chat community that you can join for free and chat for free also. But anyway, we love you so much and we're thankful for you, and we will
We do.
definitely see you next time. Steven, you want to say anything to people before we go?
Love you guys. Thank you so much. I hope all of you are reading your physical copies of Deathless issue
Let
3.
us know.
I hope you love them. Please let us know that you love them. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. We adore you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you so much. I'm Anthony,
I am Stevie Wildcard.
and this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next time.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Okay.
But anyway, Steven, I love you, and you're the best, and I can't wait to
I
see
love
this.
you too, dude.
Also, you know what? I'm gonna spoil this. Steven, when you came over for D&D, do you remember? I don't know if you recall, but I told you I had a little something for you. I had
Oh,
a gift,
yes. I didn't remind you.
dude. I forgot. I forgot completely. I had
So
something
I
for you.
get this I get this on Saturday now?
Yeah, and I should I'm gonna spoil it because it's like,
Spoil it.
dude, I'm gonna spoil this. You probably won't even see it, but it's the coolest thing in the world.
Is that a pick?
It's a guitar pick with
That
barrels
was
on it.
barreled? That's
Yeah.
so awesome. And it's centered perfectly on
Yeah, dude.
the part that matters.
I had to do it. I was so excited. So
Dude, that's so awesome.
yeah, I ordered a bunch of them just for fun to see how they would turn out, and they turned out really perfectly. I was like, heck yeah, yeah. So I have a few of them. I was gonna give you some because I
Dang,
mean,
that's so cool. Tina's
yeah,
gonna love
right.
to see that
Oh, I
and
love that
that
stuff.
too.
But yeah, so maybe we'll do like a giveaway because I got a bunch of extra ones. So like, we'll do a giveaway. And if you want a barrel guitar pick, let us know in the comments. Actually, if you made it this far, we should do a giveaway, Steven. Because we had vomit, we have internet.
Do we have any giveaways that we're owing people at this point too? Because I feel
I
like we've
don't
done.
I don't think so because we didn't. Well, here's the thing: we didn't. We did a couple of giveaways where we didn't actually call the name. So let's do like a big giveaway now and actually
Okay.
like go through it and do one. So what's the like name? What's like a hashtag they can do?
Hashtag Tales from the Cryptid.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hashtag Tales from the Cryptid. Let us know, and also let us know what you think of that segment. If you like the idea of coming up with cryptids, if you want us to mix that with like the cryptid conjectures, where we kind of like build it as we go. I just happen to have that. Like I came up with that. I was like, I have to talk about it somehow. It sounds like a movie idea or like a comic short or something, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with it.